Alright everybody, back to another game of intermediate chess. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different this go around, so I am going to start off with playing some rapid and talking through my thought process. I'm an intermediate player who is not a master or an expert, so you're getting the raw, unfiltered mind of an intermediate player here. In the last 10 games, or the last video, I did an analysis of 10 games where I was playing a specific set of openings. I'm gonna try to change it up this next set of 10. Play some different openings that I normally play to get me a little bit out of my comfort zone and hopefully like get better at just understanding positions as opposed to memorizing theory. Although part of this is to memorize theory down the road. I'll play things and then watch something later, hopefully, and learn something. All right, so it looks like we're gonna be playing as black, and we got e4. So in the last set of games, we were playing Caro-Kann, which is c6, but now I'm going to start playing e4. So or e5, e4, e5. Cloud attack. King's pawn opening cloud attack. It's kind of also like a Ponziani, I guess. See, already getting a little outside my comfort zone. I feel like just playing solidly, put a little pressure here, and they can't develop their knight, so they're going to have to defend if they're going to defend this pawn either this way, or even this way. Who knows? So we're going to go ahead and seize a little bit of time, create a little threat on a undefended pawn in the center, and we're going to take it from there. They opt to also kind of go into this Petrov looking opening here where we got the two knights out on the F file and the two pawns on the E file. We're just going to develop and protect, developing and protecting the name of the game. So they push their pawn, adding that defender there. They've blocked in their light squared bishop, which, might be good for us, might not be. I'm thinking of whether or not to put a pawn in the center or to develop this bishop out first. I might be leaning towards the latter, I guess. Is that the last thing I said? I'm not sure now. Because if take, or take, I mean, it's fine, and I'm opening up the bishop, but let's get one step closer to castling. If, they take, maybe we will, I don't know what we're going to do, what we would do in that scenario. Yeah, I guess because I did have some extra help. If they did push, maybe I would have gone there or something. But, the whole purpose of getting the bishop out was the castle, so we'll go ahead and do that. Next move, maybe we'll do the pawn chain idea. I don't see why not. They play it on the H file, kind of stopping this nonsense from all happening. And they're developing. They blocked in their light squared bishop. Okay, at this point I feel like I should do something. They aren't castled yet. They aren't fully developed. But there's only so much you can do, to be honest, in these types of positions. So, and I'm not seeing like an obvious weakness anywhere. Even like putting my knight here, I'm like, I guess maybe, this is an idea. Because it's blocked off now, so that's a non-factor. I could like develop a little bit on the queen side, kind of go for a queen side attack, but my pawn chain is facing this direction, so this is like one of those things where, in terms of intermediate middle game theory, you're supposed to attack in the direction of your pawn chain, which is kind of why I like the Caro-Kann, because it creates a pawn chain going this way, which makes a whole lot of sense to me, but now in this scenario, I got a pawn chain going this way, and it makes less sense for me to push the pawns on this side. Either way, um, I gotta make a move. So I'm gonna just go ahead and develop light squared bishop. Put some extra defense on this to kind of block in this knight if I feel like it. Okay, and they develop their knight, which is fine, you know. What am I thinking? You know, I got a couple ideas. Right now I was just thinking if there, then there, then there, then who knows what they do. They might actually castle, so maybe it's not the greatest idea in the world. But this is their only piece in my position, so I'm just gonna defend. Yeah, so that's fine, you know, nothing too crazy. Okay, and then they kind of lash out on the queen side. They've created a backwards pawn here, which is always something to be observant of. Okay, and they are developing a little bit. They still have not castled, so I'm gonna, again, I think that this should be right, so I'm gonna start going for a bit of an attack here and see how all this goes. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna take back towards the center, opening up this rook, you know, if ever that becomes a thing to be interested in. Yeah, so we're gonna develop. Oh yeah, I didn't actually notice that we would have had quite a bit of help over here. So what can we do? What should we do? What can we do? What should we do? We got an open file here. You know, I just spent so much, not a ton of time opening that up, so I feel like I need to preserve it in some way or another, but at the same time, I think that there are better things to do. Maybe even rerouting the knight here, maybe? No, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Red knight here, knight here. If I were able to get the knight here to add another attacker there, or even get them here. No, that's blocked off this way. But yeah, here, 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 maybe. Adding some attack that way. Maybe. I feel like it's too slow. Although if I go for the reroute, I'll be able to push these pawns, which might behoove us in this juncture. So let's do that. I think that's, let's, you know, open up these pawns to push, then, you know, undouble potentially, and, you know, they're gonna castle. That's fine. So what was I mean, okay, hang on. This just undoubles my pawns, but does that actually accomplish anything? I don't know. Part of me suspects not. But yeah, here, you know, potentially going here. I'm not sure exactly what that would look like. Oh yeah, I could actually. Now this is kind of opened up a little bit of these ideas. Maybe that. I want to add. Yeah, I want to get a little bit closer. And also, I mean, this doesn't defend against this, but it gets me out of kind of a pinish situation. I'm also having coffee. I turned on airplane mode. I meant to mute the mic. My mistake. It's a crucial blunder. Hopefully hopefully it didn't disrupt like the whole network connection. This is the first time I think our opponent is really taking a little bit of a think here. We've had a couple of long ones on my side. Oh yeah, see, and it transposed into a Petrov's defense. So it played like a McLeod, I think is how you pronounce that. It's kind of a Scottish opening. It's only played by Scotsmen. Okay, so they finally develop their whatchamacallit, bishop. So yeah, I was thinking of going here, um, adding a little bit of pressure there. They would probably defend in one way or the other. And then what? If they were to go here, we could try to do this whole thing. And then if they went here, what would we do? I don't know. Then should we go here? This opens up, but I mean, what can we do? Doesn't feel like a whole lot. Um, yeah, I wanna explore this idea and see what our opponent does. They could actually end up going here, but I was thinking, yeah, we'll just go take the free pawn. They take back, we'd be here, and you know we got, yeah, okay, so this worked out. My plan was to delay this move to see which side that they would go. So now we're gonna go here, and potentially remove a defender. I mean, it would add a defender, but it would open up the king side, which I think is. I'm kind of excited. I could feel my blood pressure rising a little bit, my pulse quickening at this idea, because I feel like weakening their king side in this way will be a huge advantage. If you also don't have coffee until 9 o'clock in the PM, you get a rush of energy. I had a little bit of coffee today, but I don't drink as much as I used to. At least I try not to. Well, it's not so much even that I try. It's I switched over to black coffee exclusively, and I just don't like it enough to drink it all day. I'll get a few hits when I need to, but I feel like our this is huge for us, and I'm excited about it. I'm going to take the opportunity a little bit to kind of go over exactly what happened in the opening. So we got e4, e5, and then they played c3. I think that what that was? C3. We played knight f6. So those are the first two moves at least. And said the McLeod thing. Then what happened after that? Did they develop their? Yeah, they developed their knight. Excuse me, f3. Then we went knight c6. And then did they do d3? I think it was d3. What did we do after that? d3. Did we develop our bishop? Bishop to c5? Bishop to c5? Yeah, I think so. And then maybe they did their bishop. They didn't develop their dark squared bishop for a while. They developed their knight before they did that. They only recently castled. So, you know, it was something like that. I'll give it a better, like, go at it. Or actually, you know, I mean, my goal is to be able to do that at the end of the game. But yeah, let's just take a quick, okay. As soon as I started doing that, they were like, no. Alright. Let us do the thing that we planned. Yep, okay. So we also have a weak pawn there for attacking if we so choose. Yeah, okay. They're also tied down to the defense here. Part of me is now reconsidering, let's just get the rooks much more active into the game. I mean, this rook is doing stuff, but, you know, it's not on, nobody's in the open file at the moment, which is where I want to be. I also want to get my queen into this game here. Choices. I feel like it'll be fine to here, or even here potentially. Maybe no, I shouldn't. I feel like I should keep them there. I feel like this is going to be one of those decisions that kind of defines is going to define. I feel like this is going to be not a mistake, but a maybe an inaccuracy. Maybe it was moving the knight first, and then moving here, and then moving here, and then here, all that kind of jazz, you know. Let's we got plans, so we might as well do our best to bring it to fruition. Oh, that's interesting. They are opting for it first. So they're taking the open file as an advantage as well. I was thinking of moving here originally, but you know, they got some plans brewing. Plans a brewing. We could like just step out to the side, honestly. Could be sufficient. Yeah, let's just, you know, just moving out to the side, you know, getting out of the way of this pin, which is a common motif. You know, this bishop and the king getting pinned behind the pawn here. So we're just going to get that sorted out sooner rather than later. Okay, and they're opting to attack my queen. We're just going to move. Nothing too crazy. Should be fine over here. That's a little annoying, but you know, we can still get out of the way eventually. So it's not huge, not a huge deal. What else? Nothing. I lost an escape square there. This is a little less fruitful. I don't know if that's the right word. Less I'm gonna say impactful. I'm not sure. There's a word. I'm sure there's a word. Detrimental. Yeah, something. Okay, so revisiting these ideas. If I were to land, ooh, okay, interesting. We'll just go ahead. Actually, I'm not feeling great about that. I feel like I have yeah, that's fine. Oh, dang it. No, it's not fine. Well, I mean, it's kind of fine. It's not the most fine. Part of me is thinking of moving here, which could be fine. I keep saying that. Everything should be fine. Maybe I'm gonna move here. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. What do you gotta say about that? You know, if I let them take my rook, and I mean, I could take back, but then I'm like, if I move here, attacking this thing, you know, it's not guaranteed that I'll get it, and this is still pretty well protected, so that's not a thing. So yeah, maybe I'll move this first. Actually, I don't know if that's where to put my rook. If there's a place to move, maybe I'll kick the bishop and take with the rook. This piece gets weak, so they might have to move up. And what else? Okay, that's interesting. So, I mean, I guess now with that being said, this becomes a potential thing, but then here, here, and then what? What after that, if anything? You know? Whoosh. Tough, tough, tough. Okay. And clock time's a ticking too, so I don't want to take too much time with these ideas. There's gotta be something. Gotta be something. Okay, here, here, here. No, that's nothing. Here, here. I'm still You know, I'm a little bit closer, but at the same time, well, I guess getting rid of that does allow this to start to take place. Maybe that's it. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, because getting rid of the bishop for the knight allows me to infiltrate here. And maybe that'll give me the push I need. You know, it weakens this whole thing quite a bit. So yeah, we'll do all that. And now that this has happened, this is pretty big. It's a pretty big move. If they don't do anything about my knight, there's checkmate. Which I wonder if they are contemplating there a little bit. But they have to, I'm pretty sure they have to take. I can't, I mean, there might be a scenario where they get out of everything. But if they're gonna take, we take. And whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna move my rook here. They don't have the check on the long diagonal, which is great for us. And our opponent is, oh, actually, yeah, they came up with something. Came up with something pretty good. Yeah. But, I don't know, maybe it doesn't work. Because, I don't know, I feel like it's too something. Something's going on. But what? What could it be? If here, they'll move back. Then I don't know, maybe here. This, cause they're gonna move here. It's just not quite where I wanted it. Wanted everything, you know? I mean, is there anything here that I can do? I don't think so. Man, I was hoping this would make more sense. Maybe actually here, then they'll move back, and then here. Maybe that's it. Maybe that traps them. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like it's too crammed over here for such heavy pieces. It's too crammed. So they have to do stuff. And again, this long diagonal would be a big weakness for me if this all deteriorates and I am still protected. I did not think about that until I just moved and said the words. So I did not have the thought until I said the words here, but luckily I'm still defended there. Now they actually could move again, but maybe here. Yeah, maybe there. And that again kind of holds everything together. If they were to take, we could take back here with a little bit more tempo. And they don't have the doubled rooks anymore, so I'd be able to take back with the king. This is still, and then this diagonal would also still be closed down, so I think, again, it's all working out. It's all coming out. It's all coming up Millhouse, as the saying goes. I'm going to take some more coffee. It would be cool to eventually turn this into like a, ooh, they ended up taking that way. Makes sense, kind of a desperado, and they're gonna get a tempo on me. They're gonna get a tempo on me. But I mean, I think I have to take. I don't think I have a choice. Okay, you know that's all fine and dandy. I'm thinking of moving something like this. Um, this is not quite there yet, but at least I get my knight out of my rook out of danger. I can put a little pressure here, and you know we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go, right? That's what we do, right? So we're up, kind of like a piece for a pawn or something, an exchange in a pawn or something like that. Yeah, so we're off the light squares. We're off the dark squares, right? That's right. We're off the dark squares. Yeah. Part of me was thinking of something like this. Put a little more pressure that way. But yeah, they could just take. I'd take, and they'd start a bit of attack on our side, and we don't have enough. Firepower is not the right word. Okay, that's interesting. Right? That's interesting, right? Hmm. Part of me likes this to kind of lock it down a little bit more. I'm kind of interested in that, and then maybe I'll bring up the queen this way to get an attack going like this. Maybe I did give them the opportunity for a pass pawn, which could potentially be very bad news bears for me. But I feel like getting control of the light squares here would be very not bad news bears for me. So I moved pretty quickly here, getting my rook out of danger and adding an attacker on the e pawn here. Okay, that's interesting. They're going for a check. I guess that's fine. And now they kind of got an immortal bishop situation here, which is always annoying. Our light squares are still rock solid, so hopefully we'll be able to survive all this. We are going to move our queen here still. This pawn is no longer under attack. We'll add an attacker here. So yeah, if here, then here, then here, and you know their queen is defending there. We got some checks. This rook will be tied down to the defense of this pawn, or the advanced pawn, but okay, that's interesting. Well, you know, I mean, I still kind of wanted to do this. I still kind of want to do this because here, then here, here, then maybe here, and then they'll move up, and then we'll go like here or something. So let's do all that. We're up a pawn. Structurally, they have, you know, we have a few more connected, but they have the pass pawn. But, you know, we may be able to, again, hold everything together. You gotta believe. And the fact that this is also a light square gives us a little bit of advantage that they won't be able to cover it with the dark squared bishop. There's a great tragedy in the light and dark square bishops that they can only see half of the board. Okay, yeah. For some reason, just my gut reaction to seeing my queen get taken was one of, what have I done? It scared me a little bit. Okay, so now, yeah, they're defending. But we can still reroute this way. We're attacking here. We're attacking here. I think we're gonna be fine. I am relatively, I'm feeling, moderately fine with how all of this is looking so far. Whew. Still tense though, especially with the time situation. We're getting up to a 40 move game, which our opponent is making us work for it. Hmm. So what are the possibilities here? They could be moving in for a yeah, that's a check. Oh, and a possible like mate threat. Is that what that is? Man, that's rough all of a sudden. Super rough all of a sudden. Hmm. I could move up here maybe that survives. Oh, but maybe not. Oh, man. Tough. Tough situation. Um, maybe this again kind of gives me a little bit more leeway. Oh man. Oh man, these bishops. I was talking about how tragic it is, but it went from tragic to magic, is a popular phrase I hear. Um, whoosh, kaboosh. So I mean, part of me was thinking of preemptively doing this, and then they would still go here. I feel like I have to do something like this to create more space, because otherwise it's not looking good all of a sudden. Man. Oh I was feeling so good about the open file. See, I should have maybe kept the rook on the open file and moved this rook over here. Maybe that's what I should have done. Man. So yeah, all of a sudden the game is not looking great. I feel like this is necessary to create enough. It might not even be. I might be in a checkmate. This might be like a mate in 3 or something. Yeah, cause oh man, yeah. Oh wow. Oh jeez. Otherwise, it's significant loss of material. It's a whole rook, and I don't even like fully survive. I think I lost. Man, all that talking, and I'm like almost 100 rated, higher than our opponent. All that talking, man. One crucial error. I was feeling so good too. I was feeling so good with this whole uh, sneak into the second rank and attack. I relinquished the open file by the rook, and they were able to infiltrate and create uh, a checkmate. I think that's it. I'm gonna resign because I don't think it's worth everybody's time to watch me flounder for a while, because I think that game is decided. Good game to our opponent. I'm pretty sure that that was like a mate in few, or losing a rook. Um, so it's gonna check the game here. We're gonna go ahead and do our review thing. Didn't get a chance to go back over the opening. And yeah, so this is the first day of playing e4, e5. We lost, which but I think it was more so in the middle game. Middle game into the end game, yeah, because no more queens, so kind of end game. But yeah, it was relinquishing the. I would be surprised if that just wasn't like a huge thing. But anyway, first 5 moves of the opening: e4, e5, um, uh, c3, c3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c6. What did it was c3 earlier, so knight c6. Um, and then I think they did d3. We did bishop c5. I'm pretty sure this is how it went. Bishop c5. Bishop c5. And then, man. And then did they do bishop? E2, maybe. And then we did, man, maybe D6. Anyway, I should have clicked this button earlier so that it could be loading up while I tried to memorize it. I got the first three, okay, 4 and 5. It eludes me a little bit because, yeah, a bit of a non-standard, but that's the whole point of playing something a little bit differently. Already takeaways, so e4, e5 made the pawn structure go more towards the king side, which I feel like I'm not super used to. We didn't play terribly bad, and neither did our opponent. Our opponent played actually pretty excellent. Only a few book moves here. It didn't count that as a blunder, although I'm pretty sure that it was. And maybe it wasn't actually scoring me as bad as I thought. Can I guess I want to see real quick if it'll tell me. Does it tell me if I just, when I, the end of the game? No? Okay, that's fine. I was hoping that this would be quicker, but alas. So great moves. I appreciate it, Miss Bot Lady. We'll go ahead. So yeah, played all around pretty decently. You know, only a few inaccuracies, only one mistake, two misses. Again, scored us as an 83, scored us as a 1900, which and then gave us a question mark in the end game. So yeah, played everything fine. But yeah, e4, e5, what was it, c3, knight f6, knight f3, knight c6, d3, and then I'm pretty sure it's bishop c5, and then bishop e2 is my best guess, and then we close it out with like d6. Okay, so bishop out. Oh, okay, bishop out. Oh, we castled first. Okay. And so we castle. So I got my last move incorrect, but not bad, not bad. But yeah, kind of this whole setup all pretty standard. You know, I felt like it's all relatively solid. Again, they played something called the Cloud. So yeah, we'll just, it's scoring a lot of good at this point. So yeah, this is all okay. By this point, what where are we? 14. So I'm talking about, and this is the deciding file, the D file, and this is when it opened up. So originally, I was talking about, King is still in the center. They're not fully developed. I felt like I needed to pounce on at this juncture. I felt like this was where it was kind of not crucial. I don't think crucial is the right word, but and then they castle anyway. And I was talking about like what to do in the middle game. Like what's the next idea? Um, let's see if I can find where we were here. Yeah, I think here's where I'm thinking of, pawn breaks pretty much. They plop their knight into the center. The pawn break in the center. It gives us the best move. So that was all relatively well thought out. Like that. That's fine. You know, it's actually giving me quite a bit of. Yeah, I liked this whole thing. Yeah, this was good for me. We take. I'm curious here. Just real quick. Will you tell me if this is the best? No. Okay. Anywho, I'll take it that it's. Okay, so yeah, didn't like this. Yes. I felt like, yeah, that this was one of the things that, it felt wrong. It felt wrong in the moment. But I didn't know what else to do, honestly. Okay, it did like this. We play that eventually, but after some time. Oh, it didn't like that. Hang on, let's see. What do you still think about this? Is this back on the table? It's better, at least. Um, had a chance to play something better. It is the knight. It is the knight. Hmm. It is the knight. That doesn't make any sense to me. That's excellent. And this is best. I guess yeah, getting the knight out of the way was something that we were talking about. So I understand. So yeah, we created the big old battery on our side. It's going a little on the slow. It didn't like this, but mm, it did like that. It did like giving up the rook. Show me the follow-up. I want to see. Can you show me? Can I just click through it? Will you just click through? It like that more. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't like taking. What happens if you take? How do I get the other analysis? See, it gives us good. And then knight f4. And bishop f6? Huh? Then I would take, right? And I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't see it. I just don't quite see it. Maybe here. What would you want? Okay, so that's a great move. D6. So back here. D6. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard because maybe it is here. Maybe there's something there. I don't know. It's tough, so tough. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe yeah. Again, infiltrating, but on my own terms. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm understanding that correctly now. And again, just getting rid of that bishop because I feel like that was crucial. Oh, it had a big block of text here. What did it say? Your best move was to take an outpost with the knight. You allowed the opponent to move the queen to a more active square. Yeah, so they're talking about their queen. And yeah, I was talking about the outpost. And yeah, at this point, yeah, see, doing fine. But yeah, it didn't go the way, yeah, removing the bishop was really what I wanted. And, but here, this gives to win a pawn. Well, what am I thinking? Yeah, so like my original thought was that this getting rid of this bishop was going to be crucial, and that's a miss. What would you have wanted, huh? Couldn't have been that. This. But yeah, it started to not look so good at a certain point. This is taking a long time, so I don't think that this is going to be the best move. But yeah, this is where it starts to get critical, so I feel like, okay, yeah, there we go. Here. Oh yeah, so yeah, we could have won this pawn for sure. Okay, live and learn. So yeah, that was one of our big, we're still winning at this point, but man. Okay, it didn't actually score us that bad. That's a miss though. What? Placing the rook on an open file. You're keeping the balance with that move makes precision a lot worse, yeah. But what would it... I mean, how is this still not... Fork the opponent, where can I go? Yeah, that's... Oh, okay, I guess, I don't know why I thought, well, I mean, it's not great. Yeah. It's right as I said, it's not great. It was like, this is great. Exchange of pieces equal value. Oh boy. So it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Oh, maybe I could have, but uh, um, I guess the lesson on this one is, yeah, don't give up. I was very felt very defeated, and I felt like, giving up the, yeah, definitely gave up the advantage, the entire winning advantage. Let it flip flop. So I was a little or pretty devastated on that one, and then I spent a decent amount of time thinking on that one and came up with not a great move. Lost a pawn. Um, and I mean, uh, I don't think I could have survived this whole ordeal. Because I mean, yeah, it's scoring us as a at a plus one, which isn't huge, but I mean, yeah, we're gonna. So yeah, here, then here. What? No, that doesn't make. That's malarkey. That doesn't make any sense. What I mean, what would we do here? I think my first move would be this, and it is the best. And then what? If here, I can't block it. What would I do then? I don't know. Attack here. Then here. Then what here? Yeah, no, it doesn't like that. What? Just take more pawns? No, that's a blunder. Get my king into the game a little bit, I guess. And then they would take. Man, wow, and this is an inaccuracy? This is losing again? I feel like there's no way. No, that can't be right either. Yeah, that can't be right. So what, here maybe? No, it doesn't like that. Show me what would be best. Oh yeah. Getting rook into the game. Oh, I'm trying to figure it out, but it was a bit of a long line, and I guess I gave up prematurely. We're at the 40th move. Um, yeah, a couple of lessons to be learned there. I guess number one is don't give up. I had a better winning chance than I originally had considered, so I'll there is more credence into that idea than I let on. I think with me recording, it doesn't feel right to spend all that time, but I'm doing this to learn and get better. This was our second loss in a while. First loss of the next round of 10. Um, so yeah. So playing e4 e5, our opponent played a little something a bit. I don't want to say non-standard, but something that I feel like we won't see a whole lot of this McLeod thing in the Petrov. I can look into what to do against Petrov. Maybe that's the route to go. Pawn breaks and middle game ideas with the e4 e5, giving up the d file, big one. Some tactics we missed with what was it? Yeah, getting rid of that. Or I guess this is more positional. Getting rid of that bishop, big bishop there. Unfortunately, kind of miscalculated how powerful it was and how much I needed to get it off the board. I created a pass pawn at one point. What did it score that? Oh, it was fine. But yeah, it scored it fine. Yeah, this is the tactic that I missed. What was it again? I think it was no, not that. What was it? What is it? What is it? What is it? What am I doing? Had an opportunity somehow, some way. Oh, yeah. So, missed this as an opportunity to win a pawn. So this was probably our last great chance, and that was our last kind of great chance. Um, yeah, traded off the queens. That was a mistake. And then, yeah, that was a mistake. I wanted to see here. What do you think of that? Yeah, that's a better way. Let's keep keep the D file for us, for ourselves. Let this knight do the heavy lifting, because again, this pass pawn isn't as powerful as it could be, um, just based off of the bishop color. So yeah, big miss there. But so some tactical misses, some positional misses. Uh, we were fine in the with the opening and decent in the middle game, but yeah, huge tactical, or like even getting into the end game was the wrong move there. At least with the queen trade. So that was a bad move, and then yeah, it was more tenable towards the end there than I had originally thought. So good learning. Hopefully we'll be able to internalize this and go forward. E4 E5 is gonna be my main opening, and I'm gonna toss the opening repertoire to our opponent and just try to play solidly against whatever they play. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please like, share, and subscribe if you're intrigued by this chess journey or want to just see what the mind of a not so good intermediate player looks like. So thank you for watching, and go get some sleep. See you on the next one.